Hey guys, so welcome to my video. This is going to be a basically guide or tutorial. It's going to be many parts, and I'll do this over the course of about a few weeks to a month, and it's just going to be a bunch of tricks that I've learned over the years that have made me as fast as I am, and these are going to be geared towards people who are looking to have that little sort of edge that's, I guess, in a sense, preventing them from getting as fast as they would like to be. So, and this will be more geared towards like sort of actual tips that are used all the time, much less than like ZBLL and like RLS and stuff like that. So this will be geared to everyday solvers, you know, kind of that kind of thing. So let's just get started. So this video is mainly going to be geared at using your left hand. Now, a lot of people, what they do commonly is when they're solving, they'll actually hold the cube in their left hand and predominantly solve with their right hand. Now, this is efficient, but it's not exactly it's not really an ethical way of solving, since you do solve with the cube with two hands in a sense. Now, you don't want to. The main topic here is you don't want to limit yourself to only doing your left hand U primes, because that seems to be the only reason that people use their left hand. And so, you know, you just want to get into the habit of using your left hand in a solve at any given point. So one of the things to definitely focus on with using your left hand is being able to insert F2L pairs without having to rotate. Now, as many people may know, rotating is one of the main causes of time to pass in a solve. So if you're rotating a lot, chances are your solve is going to be slower, and vice versa. If you have a slow solve, then you might want to look at how many times you rotate. Typically in a solve, you really should not be rotating more than like 3 times if you're a CFOP user, because if you're doing any more than that, then they're just unnecessary rotations. And also, it's important never to do Y2s. So one case here is a common case. It's just this pair and to insert in the back. Now from this angle or this angle, what a lot of people, or this angle even, what a lot of people could possibly do is do a Y2 and then insert it like that. But I just find it efficient to just do it the same way you would from the right side, and just entirely use your left hand with it's the same concept, just you're doing the U's with your right hand. So, just get into a habit of becoming ambidextrous in that sort of sense. Now, another common thing is being able to do U2s with your left hand. Now, a lot of people will have a problem with this because it's unnatural for them, but it's really helpful to get into. If you can just sit there and you can just do this, be able to do U2s with your left hand, I promise you it will help a lot. And especially with this sort of case where you have it from this angle, instead of having to, I don't know what people do, like use their right hand entirely, it's just much more, finger trick friendly if you do it entirely with a U2 in your left hand, like this. So that's just a lot quicker. So basically like this. So you have this pair, and instead of doing it entirely with your right hand, you can just do it really quick with your left hand. So that's that. Most people tend to commonly use their left hand in OLL, much less F2L, because some of the OLL algs actually will have U2 prime, indicating that you're supposed to do with the U2 with your left hand. So one of the things that I learned a while back when I first learned the pi alg, I don't know what people do or what certain people do with their right hand in doing the U2s. I found it just much more finger trick friendly if I did the U2s entirely with my left hand, like this. So that's that, and it's just really finger trick if you do it that way. And I know I have a lot of wrist movement here, but it's still a fast alg if I can do the U2s with my left hand. Now the other alg, this is a common OLL alg that people use, is just RU, R prime U, and then sledgehammer, and then complete it with a RU2 R prime. And I believe the alg has a U2 prime, but I'm not sure. But a common way to do this alg, instead of doing the alg entirely with your right hand, is to do RU, RU, or R prime U, and then do the sledgehammer, and then complete it with an U2. Because the reason being, your left hand is already there. It hasn't moved. Whereas if you did it with your right hand, you kind of have to regrip right down here to get your gripping, and it's just your left hand's already there and it's not doing anything, it's free. So it's really important to get that squared away and be able to utilize that. Now another case is a really common case. This is probably the most famous OLL for using U2s with the left hand, is being able to do this one entirely, because you can't really do this one like that. The best way, in no matter what, is to do them with your left hand. You just basically have to. So it's like this. So RU2, R prime, and then sledgehammer, and then complete RU to R prime. It's really, really fast. And finally, the last place that you'll use U2s with your left hand, and your left hand in general, is PLL AUF. Now, a lot of people don't tend to emphasize AUF because they think it's just, oh, it's just, you know, it's an arbitrary step, and it's just, you do it and it's not even a step. But many people fail to realize that AUF does take up to a second to do. So, you know, that's a second that, you know, you could have less in your entire solve. So, in a sense, you should be able to do the AUF with either hand based on what's most efficient. For example, if you have a U2 AUF with a Y perm, or a T perm in this case, you're going to want to do it with your left hand. You're not going to be able to want to do the ALG, and then, because you can't do anything, your right hand is right here ready to complete the ALG, so you'd have to really regrip, and that's already about a half a second pass right there. So instead of doing that, you do this. You do the ALG, and because you're going up, your U2's already there, and just complete it with a U2. So one more time. Well, that was slow, but well, this game sucks, but still. Same thing with this T perm. You do the ALG, and same thing with the Y perm. It's already there, and you just gotta do it. And just be able, because the U2 is already there. So I'll show the Y perm. And it's really quick. It only adds about a quarter of a second versus like 3/4 of a second or whatever. So that's that. Yeah, just get into the habit of being able to do this. This is how I learned, just sitting there and just playing around. It'll feel uncomfortable at first, but trust me, you will get used to it. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.